Postmodernism in Geography. It's a series lecture. Today's lecture content the basic ideology of postmodernism. Postmodernism is the philosophy. It started journey from the Western world during the 20th century. It is the socio-cultural and the philosophical movement. The term postmodernism entered in the philosophical lexicon in 1979 with the publication of Postmodern Condition by the French philosopher Jean-François Lyotard or Jean-François Lyotard. Both pronunciation is applicable. Modernism related to the contemporary. Modernism represented by the present time frame and the present special attributes. The postmodernism develops within the domain of modernism, that is, the same time span and the same special attributes to the modernism. But the philosophical thinking, the analysis, the interpretation is ahead from the modernism, that is, the basic ideology of postmodernism. Modernity and the postmodernity both are going hand in hand. Modernity is the fact of 19th century. It's related to the technology, network, mass communication, and reshape of human perception. Modernity is related to the value system, that is the own belief, mindset, even the social value system. But the postmodernism is related to extreme self-reflexivity and the relaxivity. Relaxivity and reflexivity both are related to the self-reference, act of self. Reflexivity related to an act of the self-reference, it's related to the individualism, individuals shaping their own norms, own belief, own desire, own taste, so on. And everything is relative, nothing is absolute. This is the core ideology of self-relaxivity. Therefore, postmodernism is basically the ideology related to the individualism and self-relativity and reflexivity. Therefore, the postmodernism is the philosophical outlook of thinking. It's the rejection of modernism and it's developed as an anti-reaction of modernism. Postmodernism explains attributes outside of the contemporary thinking, outside of the box. Postmodern philosophy never ever believed in binary system of thinking or the binary explanation. They rejected the binary system of explanation of any attributes. According to them, yes is not just opposite to no, or good is not just opposite to bad, or vice versa. We can take an example for Ramayana, that is the epic literature. According to postmodern thinkers, Ram never ever stand for absolute goods or Ravan never ever stand for the absolute evils. They basically oppose to the juxtaposed thinking like good or bad, yes or no, day and night. Post modern thinkers oppose to the meta-narrative thinkings of social custom, gender-related issues, social value systems, so on. Modernity believes that work of art or the facts bears an universal truth, but postmodernist thinkers believe that work of art or any attributes are open to many for different interpretations. A few important aspects of postmodernism. First one is the hyperreality. Next is the simulacrum, then cybernetics, then skepticism, next irony and the parody. Postmodern philosopher believes in hyperreality. They coined the term of hyperreality from the work of Baudrillard. Hyperreality is the generation of model of real without reality. They believe that interpretation of attributes on the basis of what presented through the media. Rather, in hyperreality is the reality is mediated through the media and technology. It's solely based on technology and the media. Sometimes hyperreality creates inability to distinguish reality and fantasy. It's related to the technological world. It's very relevant in the case of entertainment world and the social media. The next thing is simulacrum. Simulacrum is the image or the representation of someone or something. It's better to say it is a copy of a copy. Simulacrum is very relevant in the world of fine arts. Next one is the cybernetics. Cybernetics is related to the technology and the artificial intelligence. Cybernetics is science that control or explanation the communication in between the animal and the machines. In postmodernism concept, hyperreality, simulacrum, and cybernetics are interrelated and integral part of postmodernism concept. Skepticism is the attitude of doubting knowledge, challenge of adequacy, someone who was unsatisfied and still looking for. That concept is related to the skepticism. Postmodern text embodied skepticism towards the idea of modernism or modern thinking, idea related to the progress, objectivity, personal identity, meta-narrative, gender, all these things. Next one is the parody and irony. Parody in the postmodernism is not merely for fun or the humor or the mockery. It is very relevant in literature, social studies, and its hierarchical study. Instead of for all these things, fun and mockery, the parody serves towards the nature of reality. It's blurring or wipe out the boundaries of social hierarchy. And another thing is related to the parody, that is the pastiche. Pastiche is the techniques used in postmodernism to rethink, to rebuild, or rework the existing work in new form, new attitude, with new interpretation. And this is the very important aspect that's related to postmodernism and related basically the postmodern literature, postmodern architecture, postmodern art, craft, and cultural world. Three approaches to define postmodernism. Historical approaches. Historical approaches of postmodernism developed after the World War II. It's related to the historical contextualization of Holocaust in Germany after Hitler. Basically, historical approach not believe in any binary concept. It's opposed to the just opposed condition that is good and bad, day or night. Uh, Not believe in any singularity. Basically, option open to all individual can think, rebuild anything, any attributes according to their own mindset. The French historian and philosopher Jacques Derrida was the French historian. He was the proponent of that type of concept, that is the historical approach in postmodernism. Next one is the stylistic approach. It's related to the wide range of artistic movement in the visual art, architecture, building construction, video, film, all these things. People can think, create, rebuild anything according to their own way, according to their own desire, according to their own mindset. Basically, stylistic approach is neo-expressionism. And last one is the theoretical approach. Postmodernism is not the single theory. It is the understanding of lots of theory. Postmodernism appreciates scattered theories. It is very difficult to find a single ground to understand the postmodernism. Basically, postmodernism is the heterodox approach in the aspect of theoretical approaches. Therefore, the postmodernism is called neo-structuralism and Marxist structuralism. Postmodern philosopher Jacques Fauchois-Latour is the father of postmodernist philosophy. Jacques Baudrillard is the French philosopher. His His famous concept is copy of a copy simulacrum, that is virtual world and real world is merging, that is related to the hyperreality. Next one is the Jacques Derrida. He was also the French historian and philosopher. His concept is there is no singularity, no binary, option open to all, multi-dimensional option of human choice and human desire. An American philosopher, Frederick Jameson, his concept is related to the culture and society. According to James, the postmodernism is a mass culture that driven by the capitalism and it penetrates in the every aspect of our life. Postmodernity definitely presents itself as anti-modernity. There are few words about modernity and postmodernity. I discussed postmodernity in Bengali version in my earlier videos. Student can go through it for more information.